What actually wins a listing isn't what most agents think. It's not the slickest slides, not the longest resume, not even the lowest commission. It's something quieter. It's the moment a seller thinks, okay, this person gets me. And today, we're unpacking how that moment happens inside one of the most important conversations in your business, the listing presentation. Before a single slide gets opened, before comps are discussed, before pricing even comes up, the best agents are already doing something different. They're listening. Because asking questions during a listing appointment helps agents understand the seller's needs and goals. And more importantly, begin the listing presentation script by asking questions to uncover the seller's motivation. Why are they moving? What matters most? Speed, price, convenience? What are they worried about? Because here's the truth. If you don't understand the why, nothing else you say will land. Once you've opened that conversation, something subtle happens. Trust starts forming. And that's where most agents make their first mistake. They start talking too much. But the best ones, remember, spend more time listening than speaking during the presentation. They guide, but they don't dominate. They let the seller lead. In fact, engage the seller by allowing them to lead a walkthrough of the home. Because when sellers walk you through their space, they're not just showing rooms. They're revealing emotion, pride, concerns, memories. And if you're paying attention, you're gathering everything you need to position the sale. Now comes the shift. You've listened, you've connected. Now the seller is asking silently, can this person actually deliver? This is where clarity matters. Clearly state what sets you apart by focusing on your specific track record, negotiation skills, and local market knowledge. Not vague claims, not great service, specifics, because your value proposition should be a unique, concise statement about what you offer your clients and why they should choose you. And when that's clear, confidence starts to build. Now we move into what many agents rush, pricing. But the best agents handle this differently. They don't just drop a number, they tell a story with data. Use a comparative market analysis visually to show where a seller's home fits in the local market. And, using a comparative market analysis, CMA, during the listing presentation helps support your pricing strategy with relevant data. Because pricing isn't persuasion, it's positioning. And, a detailed pricing strategy is essential to set clear expectations and avoid pricing the property inappropriately high. This is also where trust can break or deepen. So great agents stay grounded. Providing realistic generalizations about the local housing market can help temper disagreement or disappointment when it comes to the pricing strategy. They don't avoid hard conversations. They handle them with clarity and data. Now comes the moment where you separate yourself. Because sellers aren't just hiring you for what you know, they're hiring you for what you'll do. So you show them. Outline a multi-channel marketing strategy that includes professional photography, virtual tours, social media, and targeted ads. And beyond that, outline both online and offline marketing tactics to create maximum visibility for the property. But here's what really matters. It can't feel generic. Because providing a tailored marketing blueprint can convey your dedication to the seller's success and establish trust. This is where sellers think, okay, this feels different. At this point, the seller is starting to picture the process. Your job is to make that picture clear. So you walk them through it, step by step. Because provide a step-by-step roadmap from staging and listing to negotiations and closing in the listing presentation. No surprises, no confusion, just clarity. And that clarity builds confidence. Now let's talk about the part most agents dread, objections. Commission, price, timing. But here's the shift. Great agents don't wait for objections. They anticipate them. Anticipate and proactively handle concerns regarding commission, pricing, or timelines with data-backed responses. And when they come up, they don't get defensive. They get clear. Because handle sensitive topics during the meeting with data and directness. That's how trust is protected. And now we arrive at the moment that everything has been building toward, the close. This is where many agents hesitate. They soften, they trail off. But the best ones understand something simple. If you've done the work, if you've built trust, if you've shown value, then asking is not pressure, it's leadership. Because end the presentation with a direct call to action, such as asking for the signature on the agency agreement. And closing the listing presentation effectively involves asking for the seller's business and discussing the next steps. Simple, direct, confident. So let's step back, because a listing presentation isn't really a presentation at all. It's a conversation, a story, and the most effective presentations are structured like a story with a clear beginning, middle, and end. Here's what we've learned. Start with questions. Listen more than you speak. Show, not tell, your value. Use data to guide, not argue. Present a clear plan. And when the moment comes, ask. Because at the end of the day, a successful real estate listing presentation ends with a signed contract. And more importantly, it begins a relationship built on trust. And that is what actually wins the listing. Before we wrap, there are a handful of details, small on their own but powerful when stacked together, that can quietly elevate your entire listing presentation. Think of these as the edges, the polish, the difference between good and unforgettable. First, preparation. Because a listing appointment checklist helps real estate agents prepare for meetings with potential sellers. And more than that, successful agents prepare with everything they need for a listing appointment to avoid forgetting important items. It sounds simple, but it's often overlooked. Next, consistency. Because real estate agents should update their listing presentations to reflect recent market changes before each appointment. A stale presentation doesn't just feel outdated, it signals you might be too. Then, environment matters, because your listing presentation should always take place at the seller's home to accurately assess it and offer valuable advice. You're not just presenting, you're observing, advising, positioning. Now, structure. Because at its core, the real estate listing presentation typically comprises details about the agent's background, their methods for selling properties, and an in-depth examination of the current real estate market in the seller's locality. And when that structure is clear, everything feels easier to follow. Let's talk visuals, because a well-thought-out and visually appealing slideshow can help you get your information across in an organized manner. And a well-thought-out and visually appealing slideshow can help convey information effectively during a listing presentation. Not flashy, not overwhelming, just clean and clear. Now, differentiation, because demonstrating your value through unique information that other agents may not provide can help you stand out in a listing presentation. And demonstrating your value can help you stand out with sellers by providing information that other agents may not have provided. Insight beats information, every time. Let's not forget personalization, because personalize the script to the specific property and neighborhood to demonstrate local market mastery. And focus on being a first-rate listener and tailor your script to address the seller's specific motivations. No two homes are the same. Your presentation shouldn't be either. Now, a subtle, powerful move, because use the buyer list script to ask for permission to share the seller's home with real, motivated buyers. And providing a list of motivated buyers during a listing presentation can enhance the seller's perception of your competence and trustworthiness. It shifts you from agent to connector. Let's zoom out for a second, because a real estate listing presentation is a powerful business tool that demonstrates your expertise and fills your transaction pipeline. And a real estate listing presentation is a tool utilized by real estate agents to present their services to prospective clients interested in selling their homes. This isn't just a meeting, it's the engine of your business. And finally, mindset, because being honest and authentic during a listing presentation can earn the respect of sellers. And a compelling and carefully constructed presentation can sway potential clients to opt for your services over those of other agents. Not by pressure, not by persuasion tricks, but by clarity, confidence, and trust. So as you head into your next listing appointment, remember, it's not one big thing that wins the listing. It's all the little things done right.